Today we're looking at high-intensity data entry with the Total Control's upfront controller, based on the Hornet's UFC combined with the F-16's data control switch and rockers to give it flexibility across multiple modules. As always, full disclosure, I was a backer on the failed Kickstarter for the project, and at a later date, Total Controls provided me with a unit for free to review. Unfortunately, right off the bat I had an issue: the packing. That had allowed the box to be knocked around on its journey and was inadequate to protect it. Thankfully, Total Controls have vowed to improve on this and are moving to a foam packing solution instead. Delivery issues aside, however, it's been great. Requiring minimal assembly, it's ready to go right away. Built on a base with the exact same dimensions as the Thrustmaster Warthog throttle, it's compatible with most mounting designs and has a removable USB connector on the front for ease. We get a huge set of high quality backlit tactile buttons on our keypad and a ton of axes knobs along with 2 lights axes knobs featuring centered detents, 2 rotary encoders with push for selecting radio channels, and a 4-way mini stick. On the front we find handy hook and gear switches with a rather fun big red Jettison button. The gear and hook switches are 2 positions, self-locking, requiring you to lift them, preventing accidental activations. These are some really nice switches. Should you prefer, you can unscrew the handles and replace them with switch tops, perfect for, say, your master arm. Everything about the unit feels quality, from the matte finish to the hefty switches and accurate rotary encoders, which won't drop inputs even when spun quickly, to the tactile clicking of the keypad. To top it off, the underside features 4 grippy pads which will stick to your desk firmer than the Warthog throttle will. It has 47 unique inputs with 7 axes in total. So unfortunately, if you're using an older sim like BMS, you're going to need to make use of external software to work around the 32 button limit. Total Controls provides you some helpful instructions on how to do this from their website, but they lack any configuration software specific to the upfront controller. This means that you cannot change the LED brightness, for example. So that's a lot of buttons to add, a lot of time staring at the controls binding screen. Thankfully, Total Controls provide us with templates for download for a good number of DCS modules, from which you can base your own profile on, and a lollipop to enjoy in the meantime whilst you import your profiles. The keypad doesn't have any keying to home yourself on the pad, but in the box we've got some braille stickers which you can attach should you need them, and these will be particularly useful for VR users to make touch typing easier. The whole unit is designed to sit on your desk, beside your throttle with the handles overhanging the edge, or on one of Monster Tech's mounts, including the option for a vertical mount. The handles have just enough clearance on an open table to operate, but it certainly is better suited to overhanging your desk. If you're looking for something compact to mount behind your joystick, I personally think it's a bit of a poor fit, however, being rather long. It's much better suited to being laid out flat, where you can also make better use of the frontal switches. Put into practice, the UFC makes data entry a doddle. Having dedicated buttons is a time saver, especially in the Hornet, which is heavily reliant on them for base systems like autopilot or coordinate entry. The 4-way hat and data rockers are perfect for use in the Viper, giving it extra flexibility. On the Hornet, I actually bind the unused mini stick to step, target UFC, and pre-planned 1 and 2, to save me reaching for MFD buttons when entering multiple GPS coordinates. Naturally, it works best with aircraft like the Hornet, Viper, and Harrier, which follow the same rough format. There's a wide range of controllers in DCS, and for the most part this box will just about cater for all of them, although some will require modifiers or creative bindings to get the most out of it. I find it to be a great compromise between a direct replica and a multi-purpose design. It's primarily designed after the Hornet's UFC, and so its labels match up to it, but this has not been an issue for me when using other modules. The ability to touch type coordinates as you go without looking back and forth between your notes and the screen is a godsend, being far more convenient than using a mouse. Now, there's a strong case to be made for just using a number pad instead, but by comparison I find it loads easier, with a logical layout, not needing to set up modifiers or rebind core controls on your keyboard, and it provides extra associated switches that are otherwise difficult to incorporate on a keyboard. Of note, I do find it a little bit odd that there's no dedicated radio volume control, so I take to using the formation and position lights for this purpose instead. With Warbirds, they've found use as trim wheels thanks to their center detent position. The array of axes knobs at the base are perfect for cockpit lighting controls, something I've never been able to practically bind without this box. If you find yourself frequently having to enter coordinates manually, managing radios in a complex multiplayer environment, or just using the extra features of your upfront controller, it's easy to recommend this box, a great expansion to even a small home setup with handy flight controls as an extra bonus. Setting up your approach to a carrier, it has never been easier to manage the numerous radios for both communication and navigation. and this is its greatest strength, allowing you to work the upfront controller without juggling your mouse, the view, and coordinates you've got written down as you try to fly at the same time. Do you need it? No, but does it provide a great quality of life upgrade for those of us frequently using the UFC? Oh yeah, especially if you are a VR user where mouse control can be tricky. Produced and shipped from Sweden, it's available on Total Control's online store for €290 plus any extra charges if you're outside the EU. In the UK this meant roughly a £60 import duty for VAT, whilst in the US you can expect something in the range of $20 extra. You'll also find an extension for Warthog compatible sticks on their store. To my mind, the price feels a bit high strictly for the extra functionality you get in your sim, but I feel the price is justified for the high quality of the unit and switches on it, which I expect will last a nice long time. With data entry being one of those most tedious tasks in sims, this upfront controller does a great job of speeding it up, and makes a great companion for your throttle unit, giving handy extra controls without the need for desk mounting everything. If you want just one extra panel for a minimalist cockpit, this should be up there on your list. Beyond the initial packing issue and size making vertical mounting prohibitive under a typical desktop monitor, I couldn't find anything significantly problematic with the design beyond minor nitpicking. So if you're looking for a convenient quality of life upgrade for your sim experience, this is certainly worth a look. I hope you enjoyed, and take care.